Well, I tell you what, one of the highlights of today is we beat Djugarden, and
That's a highlight, is it?
apparently so.
Do you know what's mad, right? We've just made a European final, and no one cares, really. Oh, look, don't get me wrong, I'm pleased we're in the final, but do you know what I mean? Like the actual feeling outside the ground. You made a European final, and no one's asked. There's like hardly anyone here. Everyone's gone home. Wasn't very full. There were away fans all over the gaff in Stamford Bridge. Mate, it's just, it's just a bit of a surreal.
Charlie? I remember a couple of years back. Do you remember when FC Cologne were playing against Arsenal in the Europa League and they took over the Emirates?
Yeah.
I mean, that was fucking horrendous. That was much worse than we had today. But from a Stamford Bridge perspective, I can't remember the last
That's
time.
the worst I've ever seen it.
I've never seen anything like it.
You get the odd, like you might get the odd sort of away fans in the home end, but they just keep quiet. You don't really notice. But yeah, this was mad today. It was obviously they had their actual away end, and then they were in West Upper, East Upper, West Lower, Matthew Arden. They were all over the place.
The MHL as well.
Yeah, there were loads of them, mate. They were everywhere. I don't know. You would have thought that'd be an easy thing to police, but this game went to general sale. So what can you really do? You don't need a membership to buy on general sale, do you? This European semi-final went to general sale. So I'm not surprised that's happened at all. And obviously the allocation is smaller for these European away games, isn't it? Because they don't give them the whole shed like they do in like domestic cup games. But it was shambolic, mate. To be honest, it was more enjoyable watching people getting chucked out than the actual game tonight. If we're being brutally honest, the game tonight was, for me, probably the most pointless game I've ever had to sit through. It's just one of them where you have to play it because the rules stipulate you have to play. That's it. We learned nothing tonight. Reggie Walsh started, felt it was good, looked comfortable at that level, didn't look out of place at all. Nice to see a few more young lads play. George, Achimpong, Genesis
Tweet as well.
Genesis Antwi came on. Good to see, common lads still given a chance and stuff. And this competition's been good for that, for giving the academy players minutes and stuff. But other than that, mate, we learn absolutely nothing from this game today. It was just get this done, get a result if we can, and make sure no one gets injured ahead of Sunday. That was literally it, mate. But as I've said, what a strange feeling. European final. We've made a European final. Obviously, it's not a European final you necessarily want to be in, but you're in a competition, so you want to be there at the end of the day. And it just kind of feels very subdued, very much like, kind of whatever.
Would you feel the same if we were in a Europa League semi-final?
No, it'll be a bit. Look, I think, to be honest, mate, two things. One, it's Conference League. Secondly, we're 4-1 up from the first leg. And thirdly, we're playing a really shite side. So all those things coupled together probably make sense as to why it was, not really much of a feel around the place. If the game was closer, it was a better team. If it was Europa League and it was closer, a better team coming, you'd probably see more people. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying it would be a sellout, but yeah, it's one of them, isn't it, mate, unfortunately. Just the way it goes. So look, we're in the final. We've done what we expected to do. Now we've just got to beat, Betis or Fiorentina. I think that game's an extra time right now. But yeah, just kind of like, I wouldn't have bothered coming if I didn't live close. It's just one of that sounds bad because people obviously aren't fortunate enough to come to games as often as we do. But I don't mean that in like a spoilt way as such. But do you know what I mean though? It's almost like kind of just going through the motions. It's sort of just gone because. We kind of.
What's even more respectable than coming to the game today, honestly, in my opinion, is watching it on TV.
Oh, mate.
Because I would not have been able to sit through that.
Mate, I wouldn't have been able to watch that on TV. I would have had it on and I would have been doing other shit in the background. I would not have been concentrating on it at all. To be fair, I wasn't really that concentrating on it at stand either.
Can you imagine the fans in Australia who woke up at God knows what time to watch this match?
Oh no! Oh yeah, no. But mate, to be honest, if I was overseas, I wouldn't be listening to that. I wouldn't be getting up for that. No chance. It's done. It was done after the first leg. I don't really know what else we can say about today, mate. Just
let's talk about Newcastle. How do you feel going into that one?
More confident than I would have been a few weeks ago. With 3 wins in a row now, unbeaten in a Damac shirt, mate.
The Damac.
Return of Damac. But look, more confident than I would have been a few weeks ago, for sure, with 3 Premier League wins in a row now. We're playing some good stuff. Lavia's back, making a big difference. Going to Newcastle, though, is so difficult, mate. They've got a poor record there. It's going to be really tough. But, yeah, for me, mate, we need 2 wins from the last 3. We can afford to lose this game. we don't want to lose this game, but we can afford to lose. It just means we have to beat Newcastle and we have to beat Forest. I think this Newcastle game for me must not lose. Don't lose it. Because if you don't lose it, then you're in a bit more of a better position. But it's still going to be very tough, mate. I'd sign for the draw now. We'd have to do something we've not done in a long time. That's win a big game away from home. We've really struggled to do that, mate.
Big up to you. Thanks so much, Charlie.